Hello everybody, welcome back. We are doing Chinese today. We are doing a beef and broccoli stir fry over some white rice, and let's get right to it. So what I've got going here on my New Wave burner, I have a cast iron Dutch oven. I don't own a wok. I use this, and if you take a look, you'll see that the inside of this is basically, it's rounded like a wok. It's not square size. So I go ahead and I utilize that. I'm preheating it right now to medium heat, 275, and I'm going to put in about 2 tablespoons of just regular vegetable oil. You can use sunflower oil, peanut oil, whatever you happen to want. This doesn't need to cook a long time, so I'm not going to use one of those high temp oils. And honestly, sesame oil, I'm not a fan of that. If you like sesame oil, certainly use it, but I'm not a fan of that, so I won't be using that today. So about 2 tablespoons of oil in here. And once that gets up to temp, we're going to start with our meat. In this bag, plain old Ziploc bag, I have a half cup of cornstarch. You don't want flour, you want cornstarch. I'm going to move this over just a hair because I want to get centered up with you a little bit. There, that's better. In this bowl, I have 1 pound of bottom round steak. Now if you look, this is really thin. Hopefully you can see that, really thin. I had my butcher take a 1 pound steak. I had him slice it extremely thin, right across. And like I said, this is the thinness, it's paper thin. And I had him do that in strips. And then what I did was, when I got ready today, I took that, and the strips were probably about 6-8 inches long. I cut them into thirds with my kitchen shears, and here's the point we're at. So half a cup of cornstarch, regular old cornstarch. Dump your beef in there. Dump it right in there. Close it up and shake it like shake and bake. You want the cornstarch to cover all of this. Cornstarch is going to cover all of it, and a half a cup. Don't need a crazy amount. What the cornstarch is going to do for you is, ooh, I see we're missing some of our meat. Hold on. What the cornstarch is going to do is it's going to coat the meat. It is also going to allow it to act as a thickening agent when we get our sauce together. So I got that going, pretty well coated, as you can see. We're going to pluck this out too with our, help me, tongs. Thank you. I'm letting this heat again on medium-low right now at about 175 till we're ready. I am going to proceed to make the sauce, because what's chicken or beef and broccoli without sauce? And I'm saying chicken because you don't need to use the beef in this recipe. You can use chicken, you can use pork, as long as it's cut thin and nice. It's going to use the same ingredients, the same identical ingredients. So let me push this aside just a hair. So in this bowl, we're going to make our sauce. We have a half a cup of soy sauce, low sodium, high sodium, whatever you like. Half a cup of soy sauce. To that, I'm going to add a half a cup of oil. You can use olive oil, you can use sesame oil, you can use canola oil, whatever oil you want. Doesn't matter. I'm going to put that in there. Whisk that up a hair. 4 tablespoons of brown sugar, light brown sugar. That's all we're going to need in there. Kind of break it all up. I have ginger. You can grate your own if you like. I don't buy enough of it or use enough of it to buy it fresh and go through all that. So I just go ahead and utilize this. A little bit of a tip for you. This is not in the produce section. They have this in the produce section, a different brand. This came from Walmart, and most stores will have this in the produce section. At my local Walmart, in the produce section, this was about $4.50-ish. If I waited and went over to the international aisle, for whatever reason, this was in the Chinese food area, and this was only, I think, $2 and maybe 36 cents or something. So you're saving a couple of bucks. You only need in here about a teaspoon. So just squeeze in about a teaspoon. Remember that ginger is spicy. The more ginger you put in, the spicier it's going to be for you. So half a cup of soy sauce, half a cup of oil, your choice of oil. If you want sesame oil, that's great. I don't use sesame oil. A, I don't like the taste of it, and B, it's expensive. It is expensive. And we're just going to get this mixed so we're ready. To this, I'm adding 1.5 teaspoons of chopped garlic, and I just used the garlic that I had in the fridge, in the little jar with oil that you buy in the produce section of Walmart or whatever store you shop at. About 1.5 teaspoons of sesame seeds. They do not need to be toasted. You can toast them if you want, but this is supposed to be quick and easy, right? Quick and easy. We don't want all that going on. And about 1/2 teaspoon or less, if you don't like it too spicy, of red pepper flakes. And I took those, and just like I tell you with my dry spices to rub it in your hand, I rubbed it between my fingers, kind of broke it up a little bit so it distributes better, and you're not getting one big huge piece of the red pepper. So there's our sauce. We're going to set that aside for a minute. All of our dishes, and this should be about ready. I'm going to crank it up just a hair for our beef. So I don't know if you're able to see in here, so I'll just bring some of it out. You'll see how it is all nicely coated with the cornstarch. I don't think, that's not quite ready. That's not quite ready. We want it to be sizzling when we put it in. So we're going to hold off on that a little bit. Maybe a hair more oil. And then we're going to start cooking. And like I said, the reason you're going to go ahead and get this all coated with cornstarch is not only to put a little bit of a coating on your beef, make it a little bit crunchy. It's going to go ahead and thicken up your sauce as well. I think we can go ahead and put this in there. We should be able to just dump it all in. Dump it in. Bag is done. And we're just going to go ahead and stir fry that. I'm going to actually hang on to this a little bit. This is cast iron, and these handles are not, definitely are not, what do you call it, proof. I'll let these go a little bit, and I also want to put in a little bit more oil. Make sure this is getting nice and hot. Don't be like me. Don't be impatient. Wait for that oil to get hot. I can be really impatient. It is a horrible trait of mine. A little more oil. You should typically have, I started out with 3 tablespoons. Typically this is going to ask you for about 1/2 cup of oil, just to let you know. And we're going to cook this until it's done. We're going to add a little bit more oil because, like I said, it wants 1/2 cup, but I'm doing a little at a time. Because if I don't need that whole 1/2 cup, I don't want it in there because I got oil in my sauce as well. So you're going to want to make sure this is well done. It's beef. It's going to only take a few minutes to cook because of the fact that I had them slice it so thin. And you don't want to, you don't want to be chewing on a big huge piece of beef in your mouth, right? You want it to be nice and tender and bite-sized pieces and really nice on your tongue. You don't want to have to be, chewing some big huge hunkin' piece of meat. I will tell you that I invested, and I got my fingers crossed, guys. I invested yesterday in a rice cooker. I've never had one. I've never tried one. I got it because of a couple of things. I like to eat rice. We eat a lot of rice, but it's so time consuming. And with this, believe it or not, I can measure it out, the water in the rice, dump it in, turn it on, walk away. When it's ready, when it's done, it flips up to warm, and you're done. So right now over here, you'll see I have it sitting here, and it's flipped to warm. I did 6 cups of rice, and honestly, that's a lot of rice. I mean, I'm looking at it going, that entire thing is full. So chances are I'm going to be freezing some of that rice for a later date. But it seems to work out okay. And I also got it, and add a little more oil. And I also got it because I don't know why, but lately I've been eating a lot of grits. And I read somewhere that you can also utilize that for grits. So we'll see. We'll see. Just scraping all the goodies off the bottom of the pan because we want all those in there. Once this is done, we're going to add in about 3.5, 4 cups of broccoli florets. Smells pretty good in here, just with the meat. My family's not a big beef eater, so this will be a treat for them, because it'll be like, oh wow, wait, it's not chicken, it's not turkey, it's not beans. We eat a lot of beans and a lot of veggie burgers and things like that. This will be funny. They'll go, wait, what? What is this? This is beef? What? Some more oil. Maybe about another, I don't know, 3-4 teaspoons. This is about a pound of broccoli florets. I brought them home. These are fresh. I brought them home. And what I did too is what I did also is I cooked them a little bit. I cut them down a little bit so that they weren't so huge in your mouth. And we're going to saute these florets for about, I don't know, till they start to get a little tender, but you still want to have that integrity in there as well. You don't want, you don't want to have something mushy. And again, I don't have a wok. If you have a wok and you like to use it, by all means. And I think what I want to do to speed this up a little bit, I think I want to add a smidge of water. Give me 1 second. And I honestly don't like to use my tap water, so I'm going to grab some out of the fridge. My tap water is great, but I have city water, and sometimes, to me, it stinks. Kind of has a smell like, you can really smell the bleach, and sometimes to me, tastes fishy. I don't know. I'm going to put in about, I just want to speed up the broccoli a little bit. And it's okay. And it's going to help you deglaze the bottom of the pan a little bit too. Get all those good bits up. And you want to make sure you're keeping the color on your broccoli too. You don't want some old nasty brown soggy piece of broccoli. A hair more water. And I'm doing this because I really don't want to add more oil, and I want to make sure my broccoli gets the right consistency. And I'm scraping, I want to scrape the bottom of all the goodies. Now, not 100% sure about how the sauce is going to go. This is ready, by the way. We're going to go ahead and add our sauce. I hopefully have got enough, I hopefully have put enough cornstarch in here. I turned it down to medium also. I hope I've got enough cornstarch in here because I don't know. If we have to add more, we will. But in goes all that sauce that we made. Gotta remember to put this back on. And we're just looking to stir it around till it thickens up. Smells good. Now you can serve this with, you know, some egg rolls if you want to make your own. You can. Honestly, I get mine at the Dollar Tree. I get them at Aldi. They're frozen. I plop them in the oven on some parchment paper for about 20 minutes, and they're delicious. So, I mean, don't scoff at those frozen egg rolls because they're good. This entire meal, you're going to get about 6 servings, I think, out of this. But this entire meal, and then, of course, you know, if you're going to add in, if you're going to go ahead and add in like, what do I want to say? If you're going to add in like egg rolls, crispy noodles, things like that. This is going to be plenty. And we are done. Can you get any simpler than that? Can you get any faster than that? I want to go ahead and lift this up so you can see it. This is our result. I hope you can see that. Looks pretty good. Smells delicious. You know me with my OCD. Let me get wiped down here. Let's taste this dish. This entire thing, about $15. Most expensive being the beef. That ran me about $9. If you want to use chicken, then this will be a little bit cheaper for you. And like I said, you're going to feed about 6 people. If you want to use pork, it's going to lower the cost even more because pork right now is the cheapest way you can go. And you leave everything the same. The sauce is going to remain the same regardless of the meat. The broccoli, if you wanted to add some frozen broccoli to lessen the cost as well, you can do that. Or an Asian stir-fry veggie blend. I think they have those at Walmart for a couple bucks. Might be, you know, give you a little more stretch to it, to stretch the veggies out. If you wanted to add more broccoli and less beef. There are ways to bring this cost down, but the way I'm doing it today, about $15, just to let you know. So let's get some rice. I got my fingers crossed on the rice cooker. Don't know. Here she is. This was, it looks good. This was $17.88 at Walmart. But if I'm going to use it all the time and I'm going to use it for grits and whatever else I can use it for, it was well worth it for me. Like I said, we eat a lot of rice. And it was simple to make. Yeah, this isn't bad looking rice. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Looks pretty good. Was really simple. It's got the numbers on the inside. It came with this little measure for your rice. You dump it in according to what the package says on the cooker package, and you're good. Turn it on, walk away. Okay, so here we are. Let me get a spoon so I can get some of that delicious sauce. The sauce came out gorgeous. It's just perfect. Here is the broccoli, came out nice as well. Get a little more sauce. I top mine with crispy noodles. I just bought these at Walmart, $1.89. Oh no, I did not. They didn't have them at Walmart. I actually got these at my local grocery store, ShopRite, for $1.89. Sprinkle a few of those on top. You've already got your sesame seeds in the mix. And there you go. I mean, I've got a little serving here, but I mean, this is probably a serving size, and you can probably get, I mean, I'm looking at this, I would say maybe a little more than 6. Maybe a little more than 6. And that's pretty good if you're going to serve that to a guest or somebody with, it's probably about a cup of rice and maybe about a cup of the chicken or beef and broccoli. That's plenty if you're going to serve it with, you know, some egg rolls and whatnot, maybe some pot stickers. This is perfect. So let's give it a shot. I'm going to try the broccoli first because I want to see it. I want to check it for doneness. It's tender, but it's still got some integrity. It's still got a little snap to it, just like if you went to the Chinese restaurant. Taste the beef by itself. Really tender. Like I said, I went to my butcher and had him do that. But you, I mean, you can do it yourself. In all honesty, really good knife. Cut it on the bias, very thin. You won't have to pay the extra for him doing that either. And it wouldn't have cost you the $9. Anxious to try this rice? Oh my God. It's just like my local Chinese restaurant rice. What? Now, I want to try a bite of everything together. Let's see how it tastes as one big bite. Guys, winner. This is a winner. I'm glad we made this. Perfect. So, family of 6, $15. Bring that price down by using maybe a couple bags of frozen broccoli instead of the fresh, a little bit cheaper. Use some chicken or pork instead of the beef. Bring it down. You can probably, if you work at this, you can get this below $10. I don't doubt you can get this below the $10. Because a lot of the stuff you're already going to have in your pantry. Oil, ginger. You can use dry ginger if you don't want to buy the paste. I mean, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And yeah. So, if you like this video, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up and like it. Make sure you share it. Leave me a comment. And if you have not subscribed and you are here just viewing my videos, thank you, thank you, thank you. But please consider subscribing. It helps my channel. It brings me up to the top of YouTube in search engines and gives us some more. It's going to give us a lot more views. And that's where we want to be. We're building the channel together, right? So make sure you are sharing this with family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, teammates, significant other, relative, whoever you happen to know. Share this content with them. Make sure we build the channel. And I thank you so very much for joining me today. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys. Have a great day.